What's up everybody, it's Megan with Project Freya. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm here today with my hot cocoa and my favorite Christmas sweater. Today, we're going to do a Christmas movie tier list. So I went ahead and did the honors of putting everything that I haven't seen, or at least I don't recall ever seeing, in this list here. This is like 61 movies, I think, altogether, so it's understandable that I haven't seen some of them, but I was actually quite alarmed by how many I haven't seen. There's like one of the Home Alone movies and stuff on here. Like, I think I have seen them, I just can't remember them to save my life. Like this one I'm pretty sure I've seen, I just can't remember. Things like that. So I just went ahead and put those in the never watched because I couldn't really speak to them. So we're really just going to talk about the few that are down here, which is not a lot, but hey, it's better than nothing. And I do still love Christmas time, Christmas movies. I guess most people are similar in that they have like one or a few that they pick and they have to watch it like every year almost. And I guess I am kind of one of those people, which is why my list of ones that are watched is so small. But anyway, without further rambling, let's go ahead and get into it. So I feel like the list has kind of set me up for controversy right away. Is it bad that it's like a controversy over a movie? Until a year or two ago, I would have argued the point that this isn't a Christmas movie because I felt like it was just one of those things that taints the thought of like the joy of Christmas, whatever. But I actually watched it on Christmas Day like a year or two ago for the first time. I've never actually seen it until then, and it was not uncomfortable to have on during Christmas Day. So my opinion on it has changed a little bit. You can fight to the death on whether it's actually a Christmas movie or not. I think if you do include this as a Christmas movie, that kind of opens the floodgates to other things being considered Christmas movies that aren't actually about Christmas. But either way, it's not a bad movie. As far as it relates to Christmas, I don't think it's legendary. The movie itself, maybe we could talk about that a different time, but for Christmas movies, it's okay. Don't fight in the comments over it. I don't know that I've actually seen the Gremlins all the way through. I don't know. I just know that you don't feed them late at night. Yeah, so we might actually have to stick that in here, even though I think I have seen most of it, but I just, okay. So, Frosty the Snowman animation. You'll find out later, or I guess you'll find out right now, that I do really enjoy like the older animated movies. And I mean like hand-drawn animation. I don't mean claymation. We'll go into that shit later, but I like the old animated Christmas movies. There's something like wholesome and I don't know, good vibes about them. And I like the story of Frosty in general. Like, it's a cute little Christmas thing, but specifically this one is just, it's pretty great. Home Alone. Home Alone was, first of all, we're all still asking ourselves, how do you forget a child? It doesn't matter how many you have, but how do you forget a child? Anyway, I feel like it's one that most people have seen. Solid film, funny. Not my favorite. I guess the kind of humor that it is not my favorite type of movie in general. We could kind of put this in there with it. Yeah, funny movies, not the best Christmas movie that you'd ever find, kind of thing. Christmas Carol. So Christmas Carol is, I think, it's one of my dad's more favorite movies, I think. So it's one of those films that I've seen more times than I would like to have seen because, you know, like I mentioned earlier, everybody's got the Christmas movie that they like to watch every year, and this was one of them for my dad, I think, for a while. So I can't really tell you if my feelings on it are because I dislike it or because I watched it too many times and it wasn't like my favorite movie. I know I should probably rate this one in particular because I have seen the old one and this one, but I think as a whole the Christmas Carol in general is just kind of okay. It's what is the word I'm looking for? It is one of the like staple Christmas movies that I think of, but it's not my personal favorite. But it's not a bad movie. It's just I wouldn't I wouldn't say it's one that I want to watch. I'll watch it if you're watching it, but I'm not going to put it on. An important note is it doesn't matter how lazy you are, how much in a rush you're in. Don't make your hot chocolate with water. I know it says on the package that it's okay to make it with water, but it's really not. This has been a public service announcement. Elf. Funny enough, I just watched this. This was my second holiday movie of the season. And I remembered it as being amazing. I thought it was hilarious back in like 2003 when it came out. Watching it again, it's so cringe. I think it's a great movie. I love him as the character. Obviously there's plot holes, as there are all Christmas films, but I think the premise is cute. I think the syrup is cute. You get what I'm saying. It's a good movie. Whatever. Okay. So, How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I think I can safely say at this point The Grinch is my favorite Christmas movie. The original animation of it is my favorite Christmas movie. And I think when you think of Christmas movies, it's one that everyone can think of. Like, everyone I know has seen it, even people that don't, celebrate Christmas. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is it's an amazing movie. I love it. It's cute. It's got that good Christmas vibe, even though, it's the Grinch. But apparently I forget how to explain myself. But what I'm trying to say is it's my favorite Christmas movie. The original animation is phenomenal. I love it, and it is my watch every year movie. Which leads me to the Jim Carrey Grinch, which I actually, I wouldn't watch per se in place of the animated movie. Maybe because it's my favorite Christmas movie. Even this version of it is still like legendary to me. I think Jim Carrey really took the role. I like him. I think if it was a different person in the role, it probably wouldn't be on my list that high at all, but I think he made the movie. A Christmas Story. Okay. I could argue that this one could go in the never watched, but I think I've caught most of it at this point. I'm pretty sure there's like a station on TV that plays this on Thanksgiving and Christmas for like 24 hours straight or something like that. Like, it just plays on repeat. So I've caught bits and pieces of it like over the years, and I just can't bring myself to sit and watch it all the way through. Oh god, like the list wouldn't even allow me to put it there. There we go. I don't think it's funny. The others bits and pieces, maybe? No. Like, the tongue on the pole is really like the only part that I thought was kind of funny. The rest of it, it just doesn't hold my attention. I think the leg lamp is stupid, and that's that. I really haven't sat through and watched it all the way through. The Polar Express was another one of those, like, wholesome and animation Christmas vibe films. It's one that I could watch every year, too. I think the animation was nice. I think it's got good Christmas vibes. I don't know, the one kid on the train kind of killed it a little bit, but we don't have to talk about him. Everything else is great. Not exactly something I would consider to be a legendary film, but definitely a good one that I wouldn't mind watching every year. So the old Rudolph movie, with it being a Rudolph thing, like, I really want to enjoy it. But the way these movies were made, like the animation, whatever, is honestly just so nightmare fuel for me. I think it's so awful and cringy, and I understand that it's old and why it is the way it is, but I honestly just hate it. Bad Santa, I think we can just go ahead and we can all agree it belongs in bad. It's in the name. The movie is bad. It has funny moments, but it's meant to be bad and cringe, so it goes there. The Nightmare Before Christmas is actually one of those movies I find myself asking every single year. Is this actually a Halloween movie, or is this a Christmas movie? I don't know, but The Nightmare Before Christmas, while because it's kind of like creepy animation, when I was growing up, it used to give me nightmares. But as I've gotten older, like, I've really grown to appreciate it. I think it's an amazing film. I love the Nightmare Before Christmas section in the Kingdom Hearts games. Like, I think it goes without saying this movie, whether you really feel it's more of a Halloween movie, if you feel it's a Christmas film, if you think it's somewhere in between, I think it's kind of a legendary film that I can honestly watch outside of either of those holidays. I think I could watch it anytime. I think I could watch it many times. So I think it goes at the top of the chart. The Santa Claus. So this one I haven't seen in a very long time. I remember liking it when I was younger, but I can't honestly tell you if that was because I liked the movie or because I watched it with my Nana, who was like a huge part of my Christmas spirit, and she enjoyed it, so I don't know. I mean, I think it was okay if I'm remembering it correctly, but how old was that movie? Let's look it up. 1994. Okay, so I was 1 when that film was made. So it's been a long time. But from what I remember, it was okay. I liked the later ones too, for no other reason, I think, than they remind me of good times with my Nana, so we'll just go ahead and put them. I don't think this one was as good, but they still give me good vibes, so we'll just put them all there. For some reason, the Charlie Brown Christmas is on here twice. So, okay. I've never been like a huge Charlie Brown person, per se. I will say the Great Pumpkin and the Charlie Brown Christmas movies are very wholesome and I could watch them every year, and I think I usually do end up watching them. This one's hard for me. I would put it in great, but I think I'm gonna leave it in legendary simply because of the Charlie Brown Christmas tree, and like just anytime you see a dinky tree, it's like it's the Charlie Brown Christmas tree. I think the Charlie Brown Christmas, and I know this isn't what we're talking about, but like the Great Pumpkin movies are they're iconic is probably a better word. 8 Crazy Nights. One of his better films. Seeing Adam Sandler animated, kind of weird. Not a bad thing. Definitely a movie I didn't regret watching instantly, but not one that I would watch unless it was already on TV. I don't really have much else to say about it. Okay, I have to admit, I had to go and watch the trailer for this one, because I looked at it and I remember that I've seen it, but I can't for the life of me remember what it was, what it was. And I watched the trailer and it's like, it's all very familiar. Like, I've definitely seen it, but I couldn't tell you what happens at all. That probably speaks for the movie. So we're just gonna put it there, but you're free to tell me I'm wrong. Even watching the trailer, it's like, yeah, I definitely saw this, but I don't remember anything about it. I don't know that it was that funny. I think those kind of movies, like what is it, like cult classic type sense of humor? That's not what it is it? I don't know, but like, you get what I'm talking about. Like, that kind of funny is not usually something I think is funny in general, and then when you apply it to Christmas, which is like my favorite holiday, I don't think it was like a recipe for victory with me. This I do remember seeing, and it honestly doesn't matter whether the movie was good or bad, because look at the animated snowman. The fucking animated Frosty the Snowman was so creepy, okay? So I just hate that kind of animation. And then we have the Charlie Brown Christmas in here again, so we're just gonna ignore that. And then we have this one, okay? Which I know there's gonna be people out there who think this is blasphemy. I hate it. I hate the animation so much. It's like nightmare fuel. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. You get the picture. I don't think that the story behind it matters because just the way it looks is too bad. So this is it. Here's the tier list. With this experience, I learned that I really have not seen as many Christmas movies as I thought I had. I think the thing is, a lot of the Christmas movies I've seen are more like the Hallmark Channel kind of crap, like the stuff that you see once and then you forget, but they're good if you're like an old country lady like me. So I definitely have more Christmas movies to watch. I think it's time to queue up the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, though. So leave a comment below and tell me what your top tier Christmas movies are. If you think there's anything I put on this list that's absolutely blasphemous, feel free to tell me why in the comments below. If you like this kind of content, make sure you like the video so I know to make more of it. Obviously, I'm not going to make Christmas tier lists, but you know what I mean. Don't forget to subscribe because, like, half of you are still forgetting, and that's fine. Here's your reminder. Love you, and I'll see you in the next one.